So, a fresh good morning to all of you. Dear students, how are you? I hope you are fine and enjoying your online classes. So, students, today we shall discuss our new topic, that is chapter number 5 of class 4 English. It's your course book. It is a poem, How the Little Kite Learned to Fly. So, today we will discuss about this chapter. It is written by Catherine Pyle. It is written by Catherine Pyle. So, it is a short story about a little kite. So, before going to this topic, have you ever seen a kite? How does it look? A kite looks beautiful. It is lovely and bright in the sky. So when the kite dances, moving its tail, it looks very pretty. Okay. So here the writer, the poet, describes about that kite. So here the poet says that how courage can help to overcome your fears. As the little kite was afraid of flying, the big kite tells him that you should try. You should try and try till you get success. So as like the little kite, we also face different challenges in our life. We also fear, we also get afraid something that is new to us. So this story, basically this story gives a moral to us that we should be courage, we should not fear of anything else to get that position. Okay. So here the story is about. Okay. So let us go to the main topic, that is how the little kite learned to fly. So dear students, I request you to please open your book, chapter number 5, how the little kite learned to fly, page number 44. Okay. Did you open? Yes. Then look towards the poem. I never can do it, the little kite said as he looked at the others high over his head. So here in the first two lines, the poet here describes about that little kite, that the little kite was very afraid of flying. So as like other kites, those who were big from them, they fly up in the air. So when the little kite saw them, he wanted to fly like them, but he couldn't. He was afraid of flying. He was afraid that it would fall down if he tried to fly. Okay, so high up in the sky, and he saw many kites flying in the sky, his eagerness was to fly as like them, but he didn't because he was very afraid of flying in the sky. So look at the second stanza. I know I should fall if I try to fly. Try, said the big kite, only try, or I fear you will never will learn at all. But the little kite said that I am afraid I will fall. The big kite nodded, well, goodbye. I am off, and he rose toward the tranquil sky. So at first, what happens, the little kite was afraid of flying. He was afraid that if he tries to fly, he will fall down. Okay, so as like we thought for someone, if we are facing a new challenge in our life, so we thought that if we try this challenge, if we try this work, there is a consequence that if we try this, we will fall. And for meanwhile, and for sometimes we thought that we should not do this work because we can't do this work. So So as like us, the little kite also what he wanted to fly up in the air, but he didn't because he was very afraid of flying. So here the big kite tells him that try, at least you have to try up to fly in the sky. To fly in the sky. If you won't try, you will not learn how to fly. So here the big kite encourages the small kite that you should fly, you should try to fly, so that this courage can give you this. If you try to fly, you will get courage. It will motivate you from yourself. In yourself, the motivation will come from within your body that you should try, and if you won't try, you can't fly in the sky. But the little kite was very afraid that I can't do it, I can't fly. So seeing this, the big kite was very depressed that what a kind of kite he is. He is not even trying to fly. So how can he learn to fly? So he was very disappointed. So at last he said that, well, then if you won't try, if you are fearing, then it's okay, I am going off. Well, goodbye, he said the little kite, goodbye. You be here on the ground if you don't try to fly. I am going off to the tranquil, to the peaceful sky. So here tranquil means your peaceful. Okay. So the big kite, what he did, he rose up to the big sky. Okay. So after some while, the small kite saw that big kite flying in the sky. He tried to fly and overcome his fear. He started to fly. At first he trembled, and at the time of flying, what happened? He trembled, shaking himself free for flight. So what happened? The first time when we start something, we start fearing. We get tremble, we get vibrated, okay, we get shook when we try to do a new thing that is completely new to us, that we don't know anything about that particular matter, particular thing. So as like the kite, when he tries for the first time, it trembled, okay, he shifted right of the, moved rapidly in the sky. He shifted rapidly in the sky, but not in the straight way as other kites were flying, but in the zigzag way they were. It was moving up the sky. Okay. Then after some time, it get balanced and it flies steadily up to the sky. So from there, from the up, the big kite saw that, he identified that something is beside him, and when he looked to when he looked down, saw that the little kite was rising steadily and he was flying side by side. Okay. So when the little kite, little kite rose to the sky, he was completely cheerful. He was completely what you can say, happy. The happiness is seen over his face. He was completely cheerful. Okay, when he rose up to the sky. So students, look at your stanza number 3. The little kite's paper stayed at side, and trembling her shook himself off free for flight. First whirling and frightened, then braver grown. Up he rose through the air alone, till the big kites, looking down, and could see the little one rising steady. Then how the little kite filled with pride as he sailed with the big kite side by side, while far below he could see the ground and the boys like small pods moving round. They rested high in the quiet air, and only the birds and clouds were there. "Oh, how happy I am!" The little kite cried and all because I was brave and tried. Okay. In the next stanzas, the little kite, what he does, he started his flying. At first he was trembled, but then after some time it get balanced and rise steadily up the sky. So he, along with the big kite, they rise, they rose up the sky, and they get what we can say, they, when they rose up the sky, they stay there quite for some time. So at that time, the small kite, what he sees, he saw that some small kids were playing in the grounds. Some small children were playing on the ground. He saw from that sky. So from that sky, from in that sky, when they were in that quiet sky, he was able to see only clouds and some birds were flying over that place, and not a single things were on that place. So he was completely pleased with his courage. Okay, he was completely pleased that he was successfully successful to fly up in the sky. The kite was completely pleased with his performance. That at first he was completely afraid that if he tried to fly, it would fall. But after some while looking the big kite, he tries to fly and he was successful in that process. And after getting after some time, when they were in the sky, they rested there for some while and saw from the sky to the ground that some small children were playing on the playground. So seeing this, the small little kite was pleased with his performance, with his courage that made him to fly. He was completely pleased and very cheerful. He was surprised and completely cheerful. Happiness is seen over his face. Okay. So this is what about our story. So once again I want to recap and recall you the story. Okay. So it is a story that is basically the story about the small little kite. Okay. The small little kite was initially afraid. He wanted to fly, but he was afraid that if he tried, it would fall down. So he was initially afraid of to fly. But there was also a big kite who was encouraging this small kite that, dear, if you will not try to fly, you never learn how to fly. So it is the encouragement, it is the motivation of that big kite that the small little kite started to fly. So at first the small little kite was afraid. So he said that I will not fly, I will fall down. So after some while, when the big little kite rose up the sky, leaving that small kite in the ground, the small kite saw that the big kite is rising steadily up the sky. So he gathered some courage and started to fly. He was ready to fly. So at first, when he started flying, he rise steadily, but not in a way as like other kite fly. So he tried zigzag in a zigzag manner. What he moved rapidly. Okay, he was moved rapidly around the way, round. He was rising up the sky, not as like the other kites they fly in the sky. But after some while, the little kite get balanced and flies steadily up the sky. So from the sky. The big kite was flying up the sky. So when he saw, after some while, the little kite, what he rises steadily behind that your big kite. So the big kite saw that the little kite is rising steadily towards him, and after some while, both of them were at the same position. They fly together up in the sky, and they rested quite for some time in the sky. And in that moment, and at the time, the small little kite saw that some children are playing on the ground. Seeing it, he was very pleased. He was very happy that he had what we can say, that countered his courage. He has countered his fear, and it is his courage that he was able to fly up in the sky. And it is due to the motivation and encouragement of the big kite that the small kite has reached to its place. He was able to fly. Okay. So this gives big happy. This gives a pleasure on the face of that small little kite, that he tried and was successful in his attempt, and now he is able to fly as like other kites. So the moral, this lesson gives a moral that we should not be afraid of anything. As like the small kids, what we usually do, we face lot of problems in our lives. We seek some new challenges in our life, and what we usually do, we afraid of these challenges in our lives. So we have to courage, we have to brave. We should make ourselves brave and gather some encouragement, so that we can do that particular work without any fear. So this lesson gives a moral that we should be courage and brave. Okay. So once again, I want to recap in Hindi. Okay. So if someone who have not understood it in English, so I want to try to make you understand. I want that my students should understand this topic as much they can. So dear students, देखो ये जो अपना जो टॉपिक है चैप्टर नंबर 5, वो एक स्मॉल काइट के बारे में है, जिसको कि क्या है, कैथरीन पायल ने लिखा है. ठीक है ना. तो ये बेसिकली एक छोटे से क्या है काइट के बारे में है, जो कि क्या है, पहले क्या है, डरता है उड़ने के लिए. तो उसको क्या है, करेजमेंट, कौन करेज करता है, कौन मोटिवेट करता है. एक बड़ा काइट होता है, वो उसको क्या है, मोटिवेट क्या है करता है कि अगर तुम उड़ने के लिए कोशिश नहीं करोगे तो तुम कभी क्या है, सफल नहीं हो पाओगे, कभी नहीं उड़ पाओगे. वैसे ही हम लोग क्या है, हमारे ज़िंदगी में भी ऐसे क्या बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स, चैलेंजेस क्या है आते हैं. समझे, बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स, चैलेंजेस आते हैं, जिनको हम क्या है फेस करने के लिए डरते हैं, क्योंकि हम क्या है उस चीज़ से एक्सपर्ट नहीं होते, उस चीज़ के बारे में हम क्या है कुछ जानते नहीं होते हैं. इसलिए क्या है वो चैलेंजेस को एक्सेप्ट तो कर लेते हैं, लेकिन क्या है डरते हैं कि हम लोग उसको पूरा कर पाएंगे कि नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो ये जो स्टोरी है वो हमको एक मोरल देता है कि हमको क्या है खुद अंदर से क्या है ब्रेव होना चाहिए, ताकि किसी भी काम को करने में क्या है हमको कोई तकलीफ ना हो. तो देखो जो स्मॉल काइट रहता है, छोटा काइट रहता है, वो क्या करता है, पहले उड़ने की कोशिश करता है. वो चाहता है कि मैं उड़ूँ, लेकिन वो क्या है उड़ नहीं पाता. कोशिश तो करता है, उड़ नहीं पाता, क्योंकि उसके अंदर में ही वो क्या है डर बैठा रहता है कि अगर मैं उड़ूँगा तो धड़ाम से नीचे गिरूँगा. इसलिए उसके क्या है अंदर ही वो डर क्या है पनपता रहता है, भरा रहता है कि मैं उड़ नहीं पाऊँगा. और लेकिन एक बड़ा काइट रहता है, उसको क्या है बार बार क्या है एनकरेज करता रहता है, मोटिवेट करता रहता है कि भाई तो अगर उड़ना सीखिएगा नहीं, जब तक तो ट्राई ही नहीं करेगा किसी भी चीज़ को करने के लिए, तो कैसे सफल होगा, तो कैसे उड़ पाएगा. बार बार एनकरेज करने के बावजूद क्या है जो छोटा काइट है वो अपना डर को भगा नहीं पाता. तो लास्ट में क्या होता है, वो जो काइट रहता है तो उसको वहीं पे छोड़ देता है. भाई तो अगर उड़ना ही नहीं चाहता, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, मैं तो चला अपना रास्ते. वो क्या करता है, वो उड़ जाता है. उसको बोल देता है गुड बाय, तो यहीं पे पड़ा रहे, जब तक कोशिश नहीं करेगा नहीं उठ पाएगा, और मैं तो चला अपने रास्ते। वो क्या है अपना रास्ता क्या है नापता है, चले जाता है। अब क्या है जो छोटा काइट रहता है वो क्या है नीचे क्या पड़ा देखते रहता है कि सभी काइट क्या होकर उड़ रहे हैं। कुछ समय बाद क्या है वो हिम्मत जुटाता है, उड़ने की क्या है कोशिश करता है, बार बार कोशिश करता है। कोशिश करने के बाद क्या है वो धीरे धीरे क्या है वो उड़ता है। तो पहले क्या है जब वो उड़ता है तो वो हमारा जो पतंग होता है कैसे उड़ते हैं, ये फ्लैट होकर क्या उड़ते हैं, लेकिन क्या है वो जब स्टार्टिंग किया तब क्या है व्हर्लिंग करते हैं, मतलब गोल गोल घूमता है, गोल गोल घूम कर क्या है ऊपर जाता है, मतलब स्ट्रेट वे में वो नहीं जाता है, समझे, ठीक है ना। तो पहले क्या है वो गोल गोल घूम कर जाता है, फिर कुछ समय बाद क्या है वो स्टेडी हो जाता है, मतलब क्या है वो फ्लैट हो जाता है, और क्या है चुपचाप क्या धीरे धीरे क्या है वो आसमान की ओर क्या है जाता है। तो देखो वो जो बड़ा काइट था वो तो आसमान में चला गया था, मतलब राइज हो रहा था, वो जा रहा था। तो पीछे देखता है कि पीछे कोई काइट क्या है उसके पीछे क्या है आ रहा है। तो पीछे जब वो मुड़ कर देखता है तो देखता है कि वो जो छोटा काइट जो जमीन पे था वो क्या उसके पीछे क्या है आ रहा है। कुछ समय बाद क्या है वो जो छोटा काइट रहता है वो उसके साथ क्या मैच कर लेता है, जो बड़ा काइट होता है ना उसके साथ मैच कर लेता है। दोनों क्या है एक साथ उड़ते हैं। एक साथ उड़ने के बाद क्या है वो आसमान में कुछ दूर जाने के बाद क्या है रुक जाते हैं, समझे। वो आसमान में क्या है जाने के बाद तो देखो बच्चों वो जो काइट था वो क्या है आसमान में रुक जाते हैं। वहाँ पर देखते हैं कि क्या है वहाँ पे सिर्फ क्या है क्लाउड्स वगैरह हैं, बादल हैं, और क्या है कुछ चिड़िया वहाँ पे उड़ रहे हैं और बाकी कुछ वहाँ पे देखने को नहीं रहता। तो वहाँ पे दोनों काइट क्या है थोड़ा देर तक क्या है रेस्ट करते हैं। तब क्या है वो जो छोटा काइट रहता है ना उसको ना बहुत क्या है खुशी क्या है महसूस होता है कि उसने क्या है वो जिस चीज़ के लिए वो ट्राई कर रहा था वो क्या है इनिशियली क्या वो जो ट्राई कर रहा था वो एंड तक क्या है पहुँच गया, वो फाइनली क्या है उड़ना सीख गया। और इस तरह क्या है वो अपने ब्रेवरी की वजह से, इनकरेजमेंट की वजह से क्या है वो उड़ना सीख जाता है। और क्या दोनों काइट बड़ा काइट और छोटा काइट क्या एक साथ स्काई में रहते हैं। तो ये जो स्टोरी है इस स्टोरी से हमको ये सीख मिलती है कि हमें कोई भी चैलेंजेस आए हमारी ज़िंदगी में, हमारे जीवन में कोई भी चैलेंजेस आए हमें उसको क्या है डट कर मुकाबला करना चाहिए। हमको फियर क्या है घबराना नहीं चाहिए कि हम वो चीज़ को कर पाएंगे कि नहीं कर पाएंगे, ठीक है ना। सबसे पहले हमको क्या है वो उस चीज़ को क्या है ट्राई करना चाहिए कि वो चीज़ हमसे हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है। अगर हो रहा है तो अच्छी बात, नहीं हो रहा तो और मेहनत करने की क्या है ज़रूरत है। तभी क्या है वो चैलेंजेस को हम लोग क्या एक्सेप्ट करके उस पर क्या हम काम कर सकते हैं। जब तक हम अपने अंदर से सेल्फ मोटिवेट नहीं होंगे उस चीज़ को हम लोग क्या है नहीं कर पाएंगे। सो बी करेज एंड बी ब्रेव। सो दिस इज अबाउट आवर fifth lesson, that is how the little kite learned to fly. That is some moral that we should be courage and should be brave. So this is all about your topic. So dear students, I want to tell you that if someone who have not bought any books, please buy your books and start your classes. Our school counters are open from 8 AM to 12 PM. Okay, so I request all of you that if someone have not bought any kind of books, any subject, then please come to our school, buy and start your online classes and enjoy your online classes. So please stay home, be safe and thank you for your online classes. Okay.